Let's open up the meeting for roll call.
All right. So we'll begin with the reading of the Open Public Meetings Act statement on February 5th, 2021. Notice of this meeting was posted to the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Carrier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice of Borough Clerk was emailed on February 5th, 2021, which included requests for publication of the notice to the official Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. That brings us to the flag salute.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right. Hey, Jeff, I think it looks like you're muted. If you want to unmute yourself, we're going to head into the roll call. So Board of Commissioners, yes, Chairman Frank Philpott.
Here.
Vice Chair Steve Haggerty.
Here.
Commissioner Ray Bider.
Here.
Commissioner Nick Kapados. Commissioner Tom Whitman.
Here.
Commissioner Neil Patel.
Here.
Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Here.
All right. And then for the professionals, like myself, Josh Regier, I am here. Mr. McKenna.
Present.
And Mr. McNulty.
Here.
All right. Standard agenda for tonight. We'll begin with the reading of the minutes. That's the regular meeting, last month's meeting, May 17th, 2021.
Make a motion to accept minutes.
I second it.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right. That brings us to communications. We did receive the redevelopers status report for June. Mr. McKenna will go more in depth on that in his solicitor's report. Commissioner reports. If anybody has anything to add, please do so. All right, we'll close that out. Brings us to the executive director's report. Big thing we're working on right now is the Edmunds government finance software, which is going to really help in a lot of ways as far as streamlining the processes for financial administration and enable us to get caught up on our reports with not only with the state, but being able to provide more reports at the ready, which again, we're limited because it's just we don't have direct access. So the process is moving forward. Last week we held a 2-hour business process flow meeting with Edmunds, went through everything, and more meetings to come. But for right now, the hard transition is scheduled for the week of July 26th with a go live date of August 1st. With that, obviously, it's hampered our efforts in the state reports, but once this is done, we believe we can get the audit done in line with everything and still officially intro to 2021 budget. We are, we're in good standards because we do have a temporary budget approved. So that is in a nutshell with that. The West Effort parcel, just been working with Solicitor McKenna and our risk management consultants on some items there, but again, Mike will go into more depth with that. So before I turn it over to Mike, is there any questions for me? All right, Mike, all yours, sir.
Thanks. Well, as you can see from the bullet points, we're going to try and review the redeveloper status report, his view of what has been happening.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank everybody for being here, but I have to get off at 5:15 because I have a meeting with the senator about Thailand's. So I'll just go off, and thanks for coming, and you have a quorum anyway. I think I know what's going on anyway. Thank you.
If anyone knows what's going on, it's the mayor. We are, and what I wanted to say on these 3 items is that the counsel, a special counsel for contracts, Dave Weinstein, Deborah Rosen for environmental, and myself are working fairly steadily on a number of fronts in conjunction with nearly daily, but multiple times a week, contacts with Josh and Chairman Philippe. So we have a fairly full plate, just pushing progress on a couple of items. And those items include finishing up contracts for the purchase and sale of 2 different parcels, 2 different towns, supporting the Tidelands efforts, and squaring away the second and third of the documents that were borne by the RDA, the big agreement. We have to get that squared away. But there are a lot more fronts that this project is fighting on, and by necessity and design, we're making the Redevelopers Council do that. So to that end, we've got a report from him. It's 4 pages long. I want to let you know that I got a chance to review it today. I've asked that he do this every month and that he make it topical and up to date. So today I went over it with him because I had some questions on some things, or I suspected some of my commissioners might have questions, and I wanted to make sure we both thought of them together. So very briefly, what it tells us is, number one, in the sequence and importance of events, is getting the Tidelands issues resolved. Just by recap, think about this. We own a substantial portion of this parcel, and we don't own the Tidelands rights to it. Our property is burdened and subject to that. They own 2/3, likewise burdened by Tidelands. No one's ever paid, and the state has the ability to extract from any type of developer at any time. We are getting all of those Tidelands issues bought, paid for, processed by the redeveloper. And then, and only then, will we process acquisition of the property free and clear of those claims. I don't even want to speculate what the number is. I know it's been a very difficult thing that seems to be coming to the close. I do give you some updates and correspondence that I'll attach. I won't bother you with. But in short, I know our chairman is hopeful for an early settlement that may even be happening as we speak. I'm sort of realistic that it's probably not going to happen that quick, but if you don't ask, if you don't hope, you don't get. There are other fronts that is being talked about here, including Green Acres applications. That will happen after this redeveloper writes his big checks. The stormwater management and the DOT traffic design, that's underway. Many of our obligations, if not cheerleading roles, lie with council on these issues, like Tidelands in particular. We don't own the ground, so it's the municipality that will get title to it, or we will be able to obtain clear title. But for all that, there's lots the council has been doing and has to do as well. One of them is this big Green Acres parcel that doesn't have much to do with us, but we will be getting 2.7 extra acres of land for parkland by the redevelopers agreement to, you know, help council with a couple of diversionary issues they had with the Green Acres program. So it only affects us to that degree, but we're trying to push from everything from solid waste to working with West Deptford to working with resolving issues, granted sequentially, but there are a lot of issues between the Tidelands, the Green Acres, the necessity of dealing with Deptford, to say nothing of then going to a closing and acquiring title. So we are going through these issues. They happen on a daily, weekly basis. And I wish I had the time or the energy that Josh has, because if I generated status reports, it's probably what I'd spend my whole day doing. But I think from time to time, it'll be helpful if I give this backup material, occasional direct and affirmative efforts by us, and then allow for, hey, anybody ever has any questions, you all know, anyone who's tried to contact me, that I'm very reachable and can talk it through in detail. The only other thing you'll see is from Tidelands. Tidelands being the issue, I've tried to support with a couple other prior letters after our legislative team was brought together with the DEP, and we thought we made some headway. Just trying to push everyone to action. And I've offered to write another such supportive letter, as you'll see from the emails to Don Nagowski that I attached to you and forward to our contract counsel. Things aren't going as quickly as I would have hoped or expected, and yet I'm hearing words even from the DEP any day now. It's kind of hard to imagine. But lastly, folks, and this is an important issue I raised with you all for the first time. We are.
Hey, Mike, excuse me, Mike.
Yeah.
I want to thank all the commissioners for coming. I got to go. I just got a buzz from the senator's office. So if you have any questions for me right now? I guess I'm okay. Mike, keep up the good work.
Good luck with that, Mayor. That's an important meeting.
Okay, take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. So folks, we are to acquire the basics, the construct of this deal is we are to acquire title to 2 parcels. The main parcel, the 3 landfills in Bellmawr. And in addition, for mitigation purposes, so that we can develop wetlands on the parcel by way of a park, we are acquiring a parcel in West Deptford. Now, that's always been the plan, and it's in the RDA, but now there is a discussion on the table about whether and to what extent we may prudently acquire the West Deptford parcel first. And to that end, we've been taught we don't have to. And I didn't say yes or no flatly, but I did say I'll have to review it. And I had questions. I've authored my questions that include, we want environmental insurance for that other parcel, and also include all costs of maintenance. We want to make sure they've got soil studies, that they've got a program in place to keep their consent issue open with the DEP, which it has found it to be in compliance. In short, we're in a sort of show me mode as to why we can and should proceed with West Deptford. But I have an open mind. I certainly understand that it makes no sense for this joint enterprise of ours to have to pay taxes on a property that the minute we take title, there are no such. But it has to be worth our while, and it has to be safe. So we are working on that. And that is the purpose of my letters to this Deborah Rosen and all of those correspondences. We're trying to get our arms around whether they will buy adequate, safe, bulletproof insurance for us. They've said they will, and we're reviewing the policy now. And whether and to what extent we can get our arms around the costs of owning this property and how we can have a surety for that. That is even more of a surety than then simply agreeing to pay the bills. So that's all I have to report on those fronts. I'm sorry for being wordy to the degree we lost Frank, but there's been a lot going on, and I got a lot of this material just today.
All right, thanks, Mike. Any questions for Mike before we go over to new business? All right, here we are, new business, resolution of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency, resolution number 06:028-21 of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills. Tom Whitman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Whitman.
I second it, Mr. Simpson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simpson. It is financial, so we do a full roll call. Chairman Philippek, he stepped out. Vice Chair Steve Haggerty.
Yes.
Commissioner Ray Bider.
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Whitman.
Yes.
Commissioner Neil Patel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Yes.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Brings us to the public portion. If anybody from the public is on the line, now is the time to unmute yourself. We'll give it a few seconds, and if you have a question, please ask. All right, hearing and seeing nothing from the public. I don't see anybody on the portal at the moment, so we'll kick it over and to the meeting adjournment, and that's all she wrote. Just need a motion.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Was that you, Hags?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, got you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Mr. Director, on the record,
Aye.
Sorry, what's that? Mike?
I'm not sure that I have a solid recollection of where the Bellmawr stands in this, but all too often we cancel July meetings. Is that a thing with us, or is that only councils and planning boards?
We have based on other reasons in the past. Some of them were just lack of business, some of them were lack of a quorum. I'm going to need to look at it just because of the admins and the financial implications, whether or not we can do a meeting, or if we could perhaps maybe just combine the July and August meeting into one at a certain date or something like that. So I'll take a look at that.
Maybe an early survey of your membership that you'd be losing, because
Yeah, it's a good idea. So I'll send you guys out, an email and try to fill out everybody's schedule, and just see what we're up against in terms of the schedule for implementation of Edmunds and some of the financial stuff, the audit and things like that we want to get done. But believe me, I'm sensitive to it too. If
All right.
being honest, I'll be coming back from vacation that Saturday. So
Pardon the unforgivable violation of Robert's rules. I just jumped in on the question. Sorry.
That's all right. So with the adjournment, I got a motion from Mr. Bider. I got a second from Hags. I just need an aye from all in favor.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. That is all she wrote. Like we said, we just talked about this. The next meeting may be coming up on the 19th. I'll be reaching out to everybody. And with that, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, guys.